is Fox 40 Live.
Good morning. We start, as we always do this time of the morning, with a look on Wall Street as they are getting ready to ring the bell. Tough day yesterday on Wall Street. There it is.
Yeah.
But we are expecting a better day today with futures up.
Okay, so checking our top stories on the left, a man who occupied a tree in Cesar Chavez Park for a day decided to come down. He'll be arrested. In the middle today, NBA training camps open. The Kings play their first preseason game next Saturday. They start practicing tomorrow. And on the right, it's trending on Twitter. Rachel Crow was eliminated from the X Factor last night. It's so heartbreaking.
One of the most shocking things ever in one of these reality, competition shows. We're going to be chatting with her live, bless her heart, this morning via satellite about 8:20.
But she composed herself so nicely afterwards. She had that breakdown, and your heart broke. And then afterwards, she said, "You know, I'm going to keep singing. It's not the end for me."
And Judge Nicole got booed off the stage, as well she should have been. I'm boycotting next week. In this half hour, Dr. Steve, near the end of the hour, is going to tell us, among other things, you might only have to diet 2 days a week.
Yes.
How about that for good news?
I
Stay
love Dr.
tuned
Steve.
for Steve this hour. First, let's get to breaking news here. Sheldon's watching traffic, and something's going on in Stockton.
Yeah, something's going on in Stockton, that is for sure. We've got Fox reporter Sean Bennett headed on down to the scene, but we understand we do have a big rig that has a big rig collision this morning. Apparently, it has overturned. This is on northbound I-5, just south of West 8 Mile Road. Also, the description, not very good. The trailer apparently ripped open. It is full of food products. That's not going to need to be offloaded. There is a tow truck headed to the scene. One thing about those big rig tows, they take about 45 minutes to warm up and then get to the scene. So that's at least an hour from now before you can even get any real help to get it out of the roadway. There are minor injuries. The driver may have been pinned inside the big rig cab, but apparently only minor injuries suffered. So again, Fox reporter Sean Bennett is headed to the scene. Overturned big rig crash affecting northbound I-5 just south of West 8 Mile Road in Stockton.
All right, Sheldon, thank you. Well, new this morning, protesters against a plan to combine several Sacramento schools got their wish. Sacramento Charter and West Campus High will not be merging. Alyssa Harrington is live at West Campus to explain why the district changed its mind. Alyssa.
Good morning. Well, that plan backfired big time. Students, staff, even some parents very upset over those plans to combine West Campus High School, where we are right now, and also Sac High. Look what happened yesterday when students decided to go in front of the district office before a school board meeting. They held a rally in front of the district office. The district was also considering closing 5 elementary schools, but they halted all of those plans. According to the SAC-B, the district estimated that they'd save $875,000 from those closures and from combining the 2 schools. Again, now off the table, at least for now. The school has several $1 million that they need to try and find a way to make up, but at this point, they've decided not to go that route. Listen to what some students had to say yesterday during that rally.
All the success that Sac High has accomplished is going to go down the drain because, like, you're moving people and children to the point where they want to be, you're setting them back instead of where they should be.
The district was choosing these schools because of the under-enrollment, but at this point, again, those plans not happening. There are going to be meetings in the future about how to make up all of this money, and that doesn't mean that this could happen in the future, but some people with the school district admitted that they didn't communicate enough with the community, with students, with faculty about those plans, and they're going to try and work with everybody this time around.
All right, Alyssa, thank you.
And let's get on to our city beat, where we start in Lincoln. Highway 65 back open now that an overturned onion truck is all clear. The truck crashed last night near 12 Bridges Road. No one was hurt, but freeway was closed in both directions. Onions all over the roadway. Got them all cleaned up. A 10-year-old girl says she was nearly kidnapped by a man in a minivan at her school. Chris Beal caught up with her family in North Highlands.
The girl was on the campus of FC Joyce Elementary for an after-school program. At about 5:30, she ran to an adult saying a guy in a black mask and jeans grabbed at her, but she got away.
It's never happened to her before, and she would not lie. You can tell she's scared. Right? She's scared.
Yeah, the girl will not talk to police, and a suspect has not been caught, and that's all we know. Modesto police think this pair right here is responsible for a 12-hour crime spree involving 2 armed robberies and 1 home break-in. Police say that a gas station clerk at one of the robbery sites gave them a good vehicle description, and that's how they tracked the suspects, who were apparently pretty desperate for cash.
Time now 6:34. An update to the riot at New Folsom Prison on Wednesday. It involves 3 times more inmates than originally thought. Investigators reviewed surveillance video of the fight to get an accurate count. About 150 inmates were involved. 11 were taken to the hospital, and all but 2 are already back inside their cells. And an update on another story that we've been following all week. A disabled woman at a residential care facility in Penryn is 6 months pregnant. Kimberly Rankin looks at how likely abuse is for people like this woman.
People who live in institutional environments, even small homes like this, are at a much greater risk of being sexually assaulted, physically abused.
And if that isn't shocking enough, Leslie Morrison with Disability Rights of California says half of those will be attacked more than 10 times in their life.
Because of their disability, they can't pick up the phone and call the police. They may not even know that what's happening to them qualifies as abuse.
And while we don't know the specifics of the Penryn Res Care situation, Morrison says it's probably a sad fact.
Oftentimes you don't get pregnant the first time you have sexual intercourse.
Morrison says if what happened to this woman wasn't bad enough, the facility also missed her pregnancy for months.
All right, well, the woman in this case is due to give birth in about 3 months. Advocates for the disabled say it's important that family and visitors pay attention to what's happening in care facilities. And if something doesn't feel right, report it. Darren?
All right, Sabrina, still talking about the cold temperatures out there and a change coming our way because the storm track's going to start pointing back towards us, and there seems to be something riding along in it, perhaps as early as Sunday night. Doesn't look all that impressive, but there's a chance of rain Sunday night. I'll talk to you about that here. First off, we're taking a look at Bald Mountain, much less wind up there, and as a result, it's a lot colder up in the mountains today than it was yesterday. Here's what we're doing right now in Citrus Heights. It's 37 degrees. That's one location. I've got a low 30s to upper 20s just about everywhere. So we're not seeing a whole lot of difference here on these temperatures. We're pretty much right in line with what we've been doing for the last 5 days. Here's something that's different. Here's the Fox Futurecast with a little bit of rain right there. Sunday night at 5:30. We'll play it again and come in for a slightly closer view on this, just to get an idea on how much of that actually gets across the Coast Range and into the Sacramento Valley. Let's pause it again on Sunday at 5:30. A little bit of light rain, guys, so we'll watch that. It's a 20% chance for Sunday evening, and then that's going to extend into early next week. I'll show you the 7-day forecast on that coming up in a bit. For now, guys, back to you.
Darren, can I jump back in and ask you about frost warnings? Because the temperatures feel very much like today, like they have been this week. We didn't have a frost warning, and for the second day in a row, in fact, this was the iciest my car has been this morning. Why no freeze warning?
Well, the freeze warning, first of all, is issued by the National Weather Service. That's their call on that. And the way they tend to do that is they're issued for the first couple of mornings when we're going to freeze, just to send out the alert for people who maybe aren't used to this. Most of us aren't considering maybe insulating our pipes, or we're forgetting to bring the pets in. And then when we get hit with that first freeze, that's when the damage happens. So that's when you'll typically hear the freeze warnings. After a couple of days goes by and you're just barely getting down to that freezing level, like we're sitting at 31 right now, they won't issue the freeze. They like to see it get down into about the upper 20s before they issue the freeze warnings on stuff like that.
All right, I'll cut them some slack. Thank you, Darren.
Okay.
Let's get off the traffic with our friend Sheldon Harvest.
Yeah, good morning once again. A real concern down in the Stockton area. Let's go directly to our map and take a look where that is. That is down on northbound direction of Interstate 5, just south of West 8 Mile Road. And what we have is an overturned big rig. It flipped over in the lanes, and apparently, now they're not saying that we have entire roadway block or how much lane blockage is there. Maybe 1 or 2 lanes. But in any event, the trailer apparently ripped open, full of food products that would need to be offloaded. There is a big rig trying to get to the scene. Someone else trying to get to the scene as well. Fox reporter Sean Bennett, he will be there for a live report. A little bit closer to home, oh, by the way, again, that is northbound I-5 near March Lane is where we have, or rather West 8 Mile Road, where we have that overturned big rig crash in Stockton. Northbound 99 getting out of Elk Grove, still moving along very well for us. Same good news for our folks west I-80 getting out of the northeast. No stalls, no collisions along that route getting back to the split. Then back to Paul and Sabrina.
The acts who got the lowest number of